Hello my crafty friends and welcome back to my YouTube channel Corrine Crafts. I hope you are all well. I hope you're all having a lovely day. I'm launching this on Tuesday, so it's my Technique Tuesday card. Now my Technique Tuesday today is all about foam flower making, not just any old flower making, but foam flower making. And I'm going to show you how to make these gorgeous foam flowers. We're going to put it on a card. I'll probably spend a lot longer making the card than I planned. I was all going to be just make the focus about the flowers, but you know me, I need a beautiful project to put my flowers on. These are going to look lovely on boxes, on cards, on your 3D creations. Oh my goodness me, so many beautiful ways to use them. What a gorgeous card. I hope you like it. Let's have a look how we make it and how we make flat foam look as gorgeous as this. Okay, so let's have a go at making our project today for my Technique Tuesday. So my Technique Tuesday today is all about making foam flowers. I get asked about it a lot. You all know I love making foam flowers. So I thought I would show you a lot more detail about making the foam flowers. There's a lot more to the card and I'm going to sort of gloss over quite a lot of that and put the focus on the flowers. So it's once you made the flowers, how can you use them? So this is it. So I'm using my classic rose from the Vintage Rose collection. It's Crafter's Companion, but you could be using anything that's this sort of shape. I think I've got something this sort of shape in my flower collection, but I like to mix it around. I like to use what I have got and also what I've got to hand as well. I'm a bit of a lazy crafter. When things stay out, they just get used even more and more. Oh, I had my tweezers. Okay, so there are three outline flowers, two little ones and some leaves. All I'm going to use is these two outline ones. So these are the largest two in the size. I've got a piece of foam. It's about half a sheet of A4. I've folded it in half and I'm going to fold it about 2/3 again. I'll check that. So I can put the large one, I'm going to pop on like that, and then the small one I'm going to pop just there. If I had more time, I could be a bit more frugal with this foam, but I just want to show you how this works. I'm just popping it on like that. Now, the great thing is foam will go through your mini die cutter. So just in case anybody doesn't know, this is flower forming foam. There are so many brands of this around. You've got the first brand that sort of came out was your Foameran foam, really well known. But it is comparatively quite, I'm going to go this way around. It is comparatively quite expensive. Really, really good quality though. You will not regret buying it if you want to invest. But if you're quite new to flower making, then have a look round at, there'll be Tattered Lace or Rare Earth did quite a lot of foam. So did Crafter's Companion. Yeah, have a look round and see what you can find, and you'll be able to find it quite a lot cheaper. Right, so think this through. That went through 4 layers on there and 2 layers on there. Absolutely no problem whatsoever. It didn't even hesitate. It didn't even mind at all. So I've got my 2 from the top layer, 2 from the bottom layer, and the 2 smaller ones as well. Now that looks quite bland. I think that's a fair assessment. I don't think that's really inspiring. So what I need to do is I need to add some ink. So I have got I've used that one here because that's a dauber. I've got my Damson Wine and I've got a dauber. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the ink on, then I'm going to do something else to the card and you'll see why. So I've got my ink, I've got my dauber. Now this is where you don't want to overthink this through. I'm going to do lots of different flowers. I'm going to do a few, maybe one a week, one a fortnight or something like that, showing you, because you all know I love making flowers. And we're going to do different ones, different shapes, different designs, but this is my go-to way of making a flower. Now you'll see I put ink on both sides. Please don't overthink how you're putting the ink on, because it really at this point does not matter, because we're going to shape. Now I'm just using my water reactive inks. I also have pastels. I might do one with the pastels on there. You've got dry pastels and wet pastels. choose whichever you want. I've also, you could be using your dye inks, you could be using your alcohol pens if you want to put in veining in and things like this. But the great thing about using things like this, you've got distress inks. Have you got your hybrid inks, your oxides or things like that? They will all work on the foam brilliantly. But what you've got to remember is this foam is going to be shaped. So all the blending that you need to do is going to be done. Now I am going to keep my ink in one place, but I don't mind how much goes onto my mat because I'm going to use it as part of the project. And that means that the background, when it's got the purple ink on, will match perfectly with the flowers because I've used exactly the same ink because I've actually used the ink that's left over. So I'm going to do the two little ones as well. You see, that's quite a harsh line, but it really doesn't matter. We've not blended it yet. So we can pop that round like that. Always do the second side. I always make my flowers very 3D. Personally, I'm not into making flat flowers. It doesn't work for me. So I always try to make sure that if I'm applying ink or applying colour, I apply it to both sides of the material, whether it's foam, paper, vellum, whatever it is. I try and do it to both sides. Right, I'm going to put those to one side for a minute. I've got my ink. Just going to put a little bit more, so I'm going to really use that up, and I'm just going to put a bit of water onto there, and then I'm just going to pick that up on a piece of card. So look at that, I'm going to pick up all that, so there's no waste. There we go, onto there. Let's give that a quick blast to dry it. And before I do any more with that, I am just going to pop it into my sophisticated box. I'm going to get a couple of different colours. I've got some pink. I'm going to go with a dark purple, just because it'll dilute down. And I'm going to go with my Spring Meadow. And you'll see why I'm going to use Spring Meadow in a minute. I'm going to put that on there. So then I'm just going to get my water in a pot. And I'm just going to get these colours. Going to go first with my lightest one. I'm just going to do a few little dabs. I only want a little bit. It's just to break it up. There we go. Dry that off. I'm going to go pink. Just a few little dabs. This is just literally an old storage box. And you can see it's got the oldest piece of kitchen roll in there. Really old. But it works so well. Just to catch all the bits. And stops it going all over my desk. Little bit of purple. You can see why I've gone with that slightly darker purple look. Works, doesn't it? There we go. And that's all I want. It's just that hint of colour. Right, I'm going to leave that for 1 minute. We're going to come back to that. We're going to do a lot more to it. There we go. Let's just leave that for 1 minute while we finish doing the flowers. But I just wanted to not waste that ink on my desk. Okay, I mentioned the Spring Meadow. I'm going to get my little dauber off the back. I'm going to get one of the small leaves and I'm going to put Spring Meadow in the centre. And this really makes a difference. Okay, then I'm going to get Spring Meadow in the centre of one of the big ones. I think my Spring Meadow might be starting to dry up. There we go. There we go. Now, one thing I've learned over the years with making flowers is however far you think the colour in the centre needs to go a little bit further. I'm actually going to put it onto another one because it always wants to go further than you think. This is really getting dry, isn't it? I need to get a new nice green water reactive ink pad. There we go. That'll do. That will do, I think. Okay, now this is where you have to not mind getting mucky fingers. So all I'm going to do, I know it's a 5 petal, so 5 petal ones, odd petals are often harder. I'm going to fold it in half to capture the two pairs. Then I've got my spare one. So fold it in half, fold it in a quarter, and then just lay that one on top. See, it's a little bit crumpled, creased, not creased, but folds back on itself. Then I just pleat it. Now, I will be doing some tutorials using my craft iron, but I just want to show you how the heat from your hands is enough. Now, if you struggle and you find that it's not, then just get your craft iron out and just heat the ends up. You can always just get your heat gun and you can always just blast the end. I don't know if you can see, I'm trying not to get it on the bottom. and that's just warm that up, and then I can just twist. Like I say, you could be using your craft iron, you can use your heat gun, it's entirely up to you. So fold the 4 on and then that one, then I just pleat, and then I take that to there. That goes like that. Just using my fingers. Look, ink all over, but I don't mind. Right, so then these 2 that I've got the green on, and then I put that like that, fold that. So I've kept it on the centre, on the inside, sorry, that's what I was trying to say. It's always in the centre, isn't it? Now, whatever petal you find, if you go and look at white apple blossom or white rose, the very centre of that flower will have some colour to it, whether it's a bit of yellow, whether it's a bit of pink, whether it's a bit of green. There aren't very many flowers, even white ones, that are pure solid white. It just makes them a little bit more realistic if you add in that hint of colour. This will come off. It's only a water-based ink. It really doesn't stain for long. And so I'm doing the same with the small ones, folding them in on themselves. So I've kept the green on the inside, fold that in on itself, and then I just pleat. It is harder to pleat with the small ones, but don't worry. Then I just twist with my fingernails and then just twirl them around. Like I say, the heat from your hands is enough for these. Then I'm going to do this one, do it like that. If at any point you think, oh, I've not got enough ink on, I've wiped it all off, what you can do, and I'll show you just a minute, is you can add a little bit more while they're in this sort of screwed up state. So what you can do is you can then take that, and I always think, you know, tie-dye, when you used to bleach your clothes, well, I did when I was younger, and you used to tie the knots in first and then you'd apply the bleach to get the tie-dye. That's my comparison to doing this. So the ink will only go where it can reach, and because you've put the twist in, obviously you're going to get some nice tonal effects. That's how I like to think of it. So I've got a shaping mat. I've got a couple of pieces of wire there, and I've got some flower stamens. You can use any. Now, lots of people spend a lot of time doing a lot of shaping with these as they open them out. I'm not going to, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to take those 2. Those are my top 2 because they've got the green in the middle, and these are my bottom 2. Now, if you wanted to, you could get your large ball tool and just add a little bit of shape in the middle, but we don't even need to do that. And that's my other bottom one. Right, I'm going to put that bottom one to one side. I've got my hot glue gun. Hot glue is the perfect glue for flower making, just because it grabs instantly. So I'm going to put this, try and use a small amount of glue as possible. And then I'm going to get my first one and I'm going to stagger it. And I'm going to stagger it just there. And I'm just going to press it with my finger to hold that glue. Then I'm going to get my next one and I'm going to pop it just there. And I'm going to get another one. So I'm just going to try and stagger it a little bit more. Just pop that like that. Then I'm going to get my ball tool and I'm just going to press that down. Now, I've only done 3 so far. What I'm doing now is I'm flattening that glue and I'm letting it hold its shape. Okay, so that's going to hold like that. So now, when I take that off, it's going to hold because that glue has set. So this one, I'm just going to open it out a little bit, add a little bit of shape. I've got glue on me, and you can see it's curving upwards. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over so that it's facing down. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the centre, and then I'm going to put that one and I'm going to stagger where it looks like it needs a little bit more, and I'm just going to get a small ball tool and I'm just going to press that down. So what I've got now effectively is I've got all the petals coming up and then those petals sort of coming down, and it gives a much better effect. And can you see that has shaped beautifully with my glue gun and the ball tools. So I'm going to do the same with the smaller ones. So that's the middle one. So this one is much smaller and I'm only going to do 2 layers. You could use these layers in there. I don't get the results I like when I do that. I like to stick with the same size. And I'm just going to hold that. I've used a really small ball tool. I'm just going to hold, because I want this to be almost bud-like, this one. I'm not making a bud, but I'm making somewhere in between a bud and an open flower. And you can see, look, it's not going to change now. Now, if your flowers get a little bit squished, all you need to do is just twist them up again, and you can do it. Now, look at that. You've seen me take a flat piece of foam and turn it into that. Isn't that amazing? I never tire of flower making. I love it. Pokey tool straight through the middle, just like that, and then through there. There we go. Then I'm going to get my stamens. Now, I love these bright green stamens. They just work for me. Now, the other top tip I like to share is do not scrimp with your stamens. It really, really isn't worth it. You've put all that effort in. I'm just trying to get some of these that are already open. You've put all that effort in, so don't ruin it for the sake of a couple of stamens. And honestly, stamens are so cheap now. Please, please, just add plenty. Right, I think that'll do. I think that'll do. So let's get those out of the way. And you can get these from all over. So I'm just going to split these into 2 piles. I want more in one pile than the other. Now, this is the whole bit that probably takes the longest for me, is getting my stamens into some sort of order. I do like them to start off roughly the same height. You don't want them to be perfectly, otherwise they're not going to look right, but they do need to be roughly the same height. Let's get that one. Now, remember, I'm doing the big flower first, so I definitely need more stamens in that one. I'm going to take one more. Okay, there. So I've got this piece there. Then all I'm doing is I'm going to get a piece of floristry wire, really fine gauge wire, and I'm just going to fold it over the centre, just like that. So that, can you see, that's through the centre. Then all I do is I put those 2 ends together. I'm not even squeezing tight, and those 2 go through that hole, and then they pull. You have to sometimes give it a pull, because remember, you're going through glue as well. Come on. I don't want a big hole, you see. There we go, look. And then I don't pull it too tight. I think I'll leave it at that. Then I'm going to open it out. Those stamens aren't going anywhere. You saw how I had to pull. So let's get this smaller pile. Now, these should go through easier because I use the same pokey tool to make the hole. So the hole is the same size in both flowers, but I've got a lot less stamens in this one. Open them out, hold them tight, wrap the stamen around the centre. There we go. And you can see I've got them at different heights because I wasn't spending too long getting them all to one height. Through the centre, pull that tight, and then you see that's going through much easier. And then I'm just going to pull that down. What flower does this remind you of? I don't know. Give me a little bit campanular-esque vibes. I don't know. So I'm going to just take that, and then all I'm going to do, hot glue gun, just put the smallest little blob of glue there, and then I'm going to pop it to one side for a minute, and I'm just going to leave it while I make the rest of my card. Now I'm going to cut off most of this out the back, but we're just going to leave it, otherwise it just gunks up your scissors. I've learned the hard way. Okay, so I need to come back to my piece of card that I had. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to emboss this with this, and then I'm going to wrap some ribbon round. So I've got 2 lots of ribbon. I've got an edged one and a solid one, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Oh, there we go. Embossed, so it goes through all that colours, and then that's just 2 different pieces of ribbon. There you go, just literally, look, wrapped round, nothing fancy, wrapped round the middle. So just whatever colour you pick, just you can put 1 piece of ribbon round. That'll look absolutely perfect, but I've picked 2 just because I wanted a bit more. So I'm going to put that onto my card front. So I'm going to, my card's not too big. My card is, and again, 6 3/4 by just over 5 inches, and I've explained to you that's because I start with this piece and then I work outwards, so I never end up with regular cards. I've just got some purple and some white. You could take the centre out there if you wanted to. I haven't on this one. This purple is just from Lime Tree Crafts. I have a lot of card from there. Oh, I need to find out whether they're going to the Doncaster show so I can get some more bits and pieces from them. Pop that onto there. So that's going on like that. And then I'm putting this one onto here. So I've actually got a white border. You can see I use very little decorative papers these days. Just since I've been doing this myself, I've used such a small amount of decorative papers. I don't need it. Yeah, but I've got them in my craft stash, so if I want to use them, I will. That's what we're all about, is using those bits that you've got. If you haven't got an embossing folder like this, just use one that you've got. It's just about taking off that starkness. But having put just an ink mark, an ink stain and a few splats on there. You saw I put a bit of glue on my foam tape. It's just my 1 or 2 mil sticks to foam tape, my thinnest one. So you can just see what I've got now is I've got a tiny white border before I go to the purple. That's just very slightly raised, very slightly, but I love that. So that is the front of my card, and that is where I'm going to put my 2 flowers. So I said just leave them, and then once you've got them done, so these are you can just cut off any excess of those stamens and the excess of the glue, because honestly it'll hold, and that will just mean that when you come to use them they will sit flatter. So all you want to do, this one is going to be a little bud one, so I'm just going to give it a little twist up, and then this one. Now I have made a couple more. I don't think I'm going to use 4, but I might use 3. Aren't they gorgeous? They make me so happy. I love making flowers like that. Okay, so what I've got is I have got a sentiment, and I made the sentiment just from, remember the other day I bought some dies from our Lou. I also bought these ones, Mindful Words. So celebrates in there. So I've just cut it from a scrap of that purple, and I'm going to pop that down at the bottom, and I'm going to pop that on now just to help me with my placement. Oh, you can see a bit of sizzle coming out here, giving the game away, giving the game away. And I'm going to pop that down at the bottom just here. Now you'll see foam pads, there's none in the middle because they're going to straddle that ribbon, and that's going to go like that. Okay, so what I've got is I got 2 different pieces of string, and I literally wrapped them around my hands and tied the ends, and then because I prepped this last night, I've put a tiny little bit of wet glue over there so those knots aren't going anywhere. Then all I want to do is, so that just literally looped it around my hands and tied the ends. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to open out those 3 loops, and luckily they come out at different sizes. And again, this is something that you can do quite sort of randomly. There we go. So I'm going to pop that there, and then I'm going to get a little bit of sisal. We've all seen this. Now I had some purple and my hand naturally went to the purple, but then I thought, come on Corrine, you've got the green in the middle. So by putting this green sisal on, I've uniformed it, haven't I? I've brought all those colours together. So that's going just there. Then I'm going to get my other strings. There they are. They're slightly different colour, just a different shade of purple, and I'm going to pop those just there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get my hot glue gun now. So you see I haven't put my glue down first, I put these down. So I'm just going to pop a blob of glue in the centre, and then I'm going to get a couple of my flowers. Let's see what I'm going to do. Bit of hot glue on the back, and that one, let's go front and centre, and that's now going to press everything down. Now if you wanted to stop, who wouldn't? I actually quite like that. Who wouldn't love that card? But I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to stop, because this is going to be another one of my when more is more. Bit of glue on there, and that's going to go under here. And then I'm going to put that one to one side. I'm going to get the other small one. I'm scrunching it up a little bit under there. Now I've done celebrate. So this could be a wedding card. It could be a birthday. Celebrating some good news. Celebrating a graduation, because there's going to be a few of those in the next little while. It could be for, did I say retirement? I've lost track of what I said. Could be for birthday, of course. Oh, I've got a little bit of scrap from there, and I'm just going to pop that under. It could be so many occasions, couldn't it? So many weddings, wedding anniversary, birthdays, retirement, as I've said, graduation, whatever you want it to be. Good news. Somebody's just announced, you know, they're having a baby, so we're going to celebrate. I don't know, engagement. I just want to get that under there like that. And then I'm just going to add in lots of other bits. Now, I thought it would be nice to do some foliage in purple. So I'm going to pop that under there. Now, I have, obviously, as you can see, I put my flowers on first, so I'm just going to feed in all the bits. I've got a few leaves, again, from the leaf set that I bought off our loo. And you've seen the whole card I've done with this. Now, yeah, I've done a few cards that are very similar, but that's because this is my natural go-to style. So I do apologise if this is not something that you enjoy, but this is my natural sort of crafty style. So I'm, you know, unapologetic that cards will have a feel about them. But I think often, I know when I was working on TV, if I saw a card, I'd know exactly who had made it. Again, I've got some purple foliage. A lot of this has come out of some of these I've cut specifically for here. And again, some bits I've just found already made. I don't throw them away. Just pop those under there. And the flowers, just pin everything down. Just keep arranging it. Now, I love to use bought flowers with my homemade flowers. So these are just some pre-bought ones. Let's pop. I'm going to need to get another glue stick, I think. Pop that one coming out of there. Grab another glue stick. There we go. Pop that into there. I've got, oh yes, I wanted to use these. Look at these. I've got 2 of these. Are they slight? No, they're the same colour. I love these. They're just little beads. I have so many bits and pieces. And as I said to you, it's all about using what you've got. So we just want them poking out. I don't want to see those stems. The stems are a bit boring, aren't they? And you can see I'm trying to do it without too much symmetry. Yeah. There we go. Oh, can I get one of these in? Or will it not go now? They're wired, but I find my Crafter's Companion scissors will cut through that. Not a problem. Let's see if I can get one of those in. Will it go in far enough? Oh, yeah. There we go. That looks nice, doesn't it? Let's have a quick look. Oh, yeah, really liking this. Oh, I've got a bunny's tail thing. Is that what you call it? Again, it's out of that mixed media pack I've got there. You'll have seen that on a recent project. So I've just folded up the ends just to give me something to use to press in. Let's push that in. There we go. What else have I got? I've got loads of bits here. Do I want that one? I don't think I do. I do want this though. I've got some sort of dried flower, but I think I might split it into 2. Oops. There we go. You'll know when to stop on your project. You really will. So if it needs it, just get your pokey tool and poke it down. Just like that. Do I need a little bit of something? Let's see if I can twizzle that around. Can you see I'm just sort of making it a bit shorter? And then a little bit of glue. Hope you can still see the card really well. Oh, look, nice gap there. Like I say, if you need to, just go with your pokey tool. Okay, I might... Oh, I wanted to use this one. Can I use that? I'm so covered in glue, it's untrue. I think it's a little bit damaged, so it feels very delicate. I'm going to have to use my pokey tool to get it in. There you are, it's gone in. Can't see much of my strings, can you? There we are, poke those out, pull them out a little bit. And it's not about seeing them all, it's all about having that hint of texture. Okay, I have got other bits, but I think that is enough. So all I'm going to do is I've got a couple of butterflies that are in quite a contrasting colour. So these were from, and I should have them here. Yep, there they are, I have them. Timeless Butterflies. You get the sheet with the images on. So I've got 2 of those, and I didn't want purple butterflies. I wanted something that was going to really contrast. So let's do that. Let's use that precision glue, a little bit down the centre. let's just put one just there. And then one of these is going to go just there. That one can come up here because it's a little bit bigger. And the very final thing I've got, if I can open it, because sometimes they do. Sometimes, oh, the gems. Well, I've got purples and greens in here. Let's see if I tip a few into the lid. Might be easier. Yes. I've got a pick-up tool somewhere. Here's my pickup tool. So I'm going to get my precision and it's just going to put one. Now I'm not going to put too much glue on for a minute because I forget where I've put it and it starts to dry. So let's come in with a purple one. And let's go in there with a green one. Let's then put, I'm not going to do many more. Let's put green one just there. Oh no, don't want that because it's going to look on a line. Let's go. No, purple on that side. And then it'll have to be green on that side. Okay, so let's go with a green one. And is that purple? I want a small purple. Oops. What are these? They're green. There's a purple one. I just wanted a small purple. That's going to go down there. I think that will do. Wow. Now, this is definitely one for making a box. Yeah, absolutely perfect. On the inside, I would just maybe do a layer of purple card, follow, oops, my butterfly's flying away. Purple card with a white insert on top. You don't need anything fancy because you've got it on the front. Just make sure your butterfly wings lift up because it'll make all the difference. There we go, just like that. Wow, wow, look at the petals falling off. If you've got any glue strings, just wait till it's dry and then they will pull off. But there you go. My Tuesday technique was all about making the flowers. I spent longer making the card than I thought. Sorry if this video is a bit long, but hopefully you will have enjoyed that and you've seen how I made those flowers. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I hope you liked that. You could have stopped at any point. I showed you at different points. You could get different looks by stopping, putting too much on. I just love how you get that hint of purple coming out. You've got the little bits of gems. You've got those contrasting butterflies. Works so well. My type of card. I hope you like that too. It's going to take a full 1-inch box, but hey ho, it'll be perfect. I hope you enjoyed that. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and then you get to hear about all the videos and all the tutorials as soon as they come in. Don't forget on the links down at the bottom. And I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that has donated via my Buy Me a Coffee page. Really do appreciate it. It allows me to buy the bits and pieces I need to keep this channel going. So thank you so much. I haven't had a freebie in months and months, so it all has to be bought now. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm off to take my purple fingers to get clean, and until next time, happy crafting, and I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye for now.